All right, well, welcome back to Exhaust Sports Auto. My name is Kevin, and we are here to check out the 2014 Porsche Cayenne S Hybrid. So, who do we have to thank for this little opportunity? Well, it is none other than European Performance off of Raleigh, North Carolina. So, if you're interested in a Porsche, well, this is certainly the place to go because they have Porsche is their specialty. That's what they do. That's what they deal with. They have a whole Porsche service center here as well as for other European vehicles. So, this is a trusted place to come to for a Porsche, and that's why I'm here to check out this 104,000 mile Cayenne S. And if you haven't already, I actually already did a review on a Cayenne. It was a base model, but it was a 2016, and I loved that thing. So definitely check out that review after this. But let's take this out for a spin. All the dealership information is going to be down in the description box below, but let's just get started with this because the Cayenne is kind of the most mind-blowing vehicle in the, the Porsche lineup, essentially. So we're about to see why that is, but let's talk about the looks because this is a 2014 model year. I'm absolutely in love with the way that this bad boy looks. This is such a great design. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't seem to not like it. Well, this has a nice baller, prestigious look to it. It doesn't look like anything else on the road. Brisk acceleration, but we'll get to that. Anyway, it's about 190 inches long, and it's not a massive gargantuan thing, but it is so spacious, it is very practical, and it demands respect out on the road. And that's the most important thing with vehicles like this, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with the way it looks, it demands the respect that it deserves. So there's that. So anyway, you can make up your own mind. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below about the way that this thing looks, but the most important thing is the way that this thing drives. So let's get into it. So there's a couple of things we need to note about this particular vehicle. This thing is fitted with a 3-liter supercharged V6 coupled with an electric hybrid system. So this is a 2014 model year. Porsche 918 kind of came out, when this thing did. So this type of hybrid technology is what they were using in that vehicle. And this thing is also made to an 8-speed automatic, which I think is awesome. But this thing puts out about 380 horsepower and about 426 pounds-feet of torque. Gets about 20 city, 24 highway. That's the average MPG that it's rated for. Now, here's the thing about this. So that might not seem like a huge gain. The regular kind of Cayenne gets about 17 city and 23 highway. So it's only a 3 MPG gain for the city and about 1 on the highway. But here's the thing though. This has legitimately V8 levels of thrust in a V6 kind of fuel economy, if that makes sense. So this is similar to kind of what Lexus was doing with the GS 450H and the LS 600 HL, where they try to mimic a V8 and a V12 while getting the fuel economy of a V6 and a V8. That's kind of what this is. So respect it for that reason and understand it for that reason. Also, this thing will run on about 15 miles on pure electric mode. So that's fantastic. So if you have a 15-mile commute, well, you can just charge it up and you can go about your daily commute with pretty much no filling up. So that's pretty amazing. Now the brakes, everything about this feels natural. It feels like the regular Cayenne to drive, actually. I don't even feel any of this hybrid crap working or kicking in or anything like that. It just feels like a regular Cayenne. This thing kind of sits up pretty high, but this is where this vehicle just blows me away and why this is it hits so far above its weight class and why this is the most mind-blowing vehicle in the lineup. Not the 911s, not the Panameras, this thing, because this is a tall SUV that sits up high and it handles incredibly well. It's pure bliss driving this car. You cannot believe the capabilities of this thing. Out on the highway, the Cayenne, the other one that I drove, I was doing about 90 miles an hour, okay, on the highway. Not because I wanted to or anything like that, but because it literally felt 50 miles an hour in that thing. So that was amazing. Okay, about to check out some of that handling here in a bit. Yeah, you see this? It just handles so freaking flat. I remember I came here and I test drove a 2020 Infiniti QX60, and the way it just chirped its tires and all that good stuff. This just handles itself so well. This is by far the best handling SUV that you can get, no questions asked, dude. There is minimal body roll with this thing. When these car reviewers say that this thing handles better than most sports cars, they're actually not even joking about that. This has less body roll than most sports cars. Just effortlessly picks up and goes. The brakes, everything. This chassis is just pure butter. This steering feel, I absolutely love it. It's not overweighted for no reason or anything like that. It just feels correct and precise to drive, which is just, you know, they charge like what, over 90 racks for this thing when it's brand new. Now it's like what, like 19 grand? Yeah, no, it really does have like a 6-figure driving quality to it. I'm not even joking about that. It's really rather amazing. Obviously utilizes a double wishbone, multi-link rear end, all that good stuff. So when Porsche designed this car, they had to keep up with their lineage or whatnot. They definitely did a good job of that. Let me remind you, this is 2014. This is one of their like first kind of generations of hybrid technology and whatnot. Dude, the auto stop start, you don't even feel it working. All this stuff is seamless. It's such a fluid driving experience, and I really do appreciate it for that. Wind noise, road noise, all that stuff is at a minimal here. This thing's running on 19-inch wheels. It's about 265 wide tires, so that's also going to help with the grip. But it's some Michelin kind of latitude kind of type of touring tire, so there is that. But this has been one of my most favorite SUVs. And here's another thing. So I reviewed a Range Rover supercharged, and that was a 2013 model year, had like 510 horsepower, and I actually said that that was my most favorite SUV, and I liked it because it was a bit smoother than the Porsche Cayenne I drove, because obviously I love the way the 2016 handled. Pretty much drives just like this, and this is 5,000 pounds, so you know, this has all the extra hybrid crap on it. But there was a lack of smoothness with that vehicle. It was like the 2016 car I drove, it was not the best like kept vehicle, it wasn't like the best example or anything like that. There's a lack of smoothness with like the steering and all that crap. Whereas this thing feels buttery smooth, like the steering, everything, you know, despite it being all-wheel drive and all that good stuff, which makes it, you know, obviously very versatile, everyday usage. You can whip it, it feels smooth, it feels silky. The ride is a little less jittery, I'm assuming because it weighs a little bit more, so it kind of absorbs the bumps a little bit. Even with the 19-inch wheels that this thing has, I love it, dude. And the white with the beige interior, which I'll get to the interior segment in a bit, it's just a great combination. So anything about this that I don't like driving, honestly, really there isn't. I mean, this is, again, one of those kind of no compromise vehicles. Despite it sitting up so high and all that good stuff, I just really like driving this thing. It feels like none of the other SUVs. So yes, Porsches, the way they age is totally dependent on like the previous owners and the way they kind of take care of it, because that Cayenne only had like 30-something thousand miles. This has like triple that, you know, over triple that. So yeah, the way that these things are maintained really goes a long way, dude. This thing is bank volt solid. There is no creaks and rattles with this thing. Very solid automobile. I'm about to talk about more of that in the interior segment. Now there's, you know, it's not perfect. There's some interior things that are very questionable, but driving wise, I really like it. It's really at the top of my list for SUVs because it doesn't feel like an SUV to drive. It just sits up high. So obviously you know you're in an SUV, but it doesn't feel it, which is just incredible to me. So love that. You know, the passing power is great. Now, you know, the power is very good, but like the thrust isn't quite there because the chassis is so good. You don't really feel like that huge sensation of power being thrown back into your seat, despite it having like, you know, damn near 400 horsepower and all that good stuff. I will say this, definitely get a warranty with this thing, you know, supercharged V6 with the hybrid and all that crap. You know, I would highly suggest you getting a warranty with this. Obviously, this dealership is known for dealing with Porsches, so that's good. Maybe financing through like Lightstream or something like that if you do find a good warranty, or you can just talk to this dealership about warranty coverage and all that stuff, because they do, after all, you know, service these vehicles, so there is that. So yes, driving wise, flawless experience. I actually did not have any complaints driving this car, actually. You might be wondering, you know, so what is the best SUV in the world? I get this question so many times, like, isn't Lexus the best, or isn't BMW the ultimate driving machine, or isn't Mercedes the best, or they're all the best. I mean, you're going to be happy driving literally all of them, so it's just like, is there a best? I mean, you have to understand, with every single vehicle, with every single manufacturer, they all try to do something different, and they have their own kind of unique feel and a unique purpose that they're trying to fulfill. Even Acura, you know, I love the way Acuras drive. I like the way Infinitis drive. I like the way Lexus, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, they all drive great. Porsche drives great. They all have their own unique feel. I will say though, what Porsche is trying to do, they're literally trying to be like that SUV that handles like a car. I guess because it rides about as well as those other vehicles, and the fact that it drives like better than some sports cars do, while being this practical and being this efficient, if you want to put the best on it, you know what I'm saying, go for it. But, just honestly, just choose whichever brand you like the most. There is no such thing as a bad car anymore, honestly. I mean, as long as you're not buying some useless Chevy Trax or like a Dodge Journey or something like that, the cars that are built for people with like bad credit, as long as you're avoiding those vehicles and you're looking into this luxury segment with the warranty, you're getting pretty much some of the best automobiles that the world has to offer to you. And this Porsche Cayenne, I would put it a couple notches above simply because of that. I mean, certain people like the way certain things look, so they'll make their purchasing decision based off of that. But honestly, there's not really any bad cars out there, so there's that. But this is on a short list for me. This with the warranty, amazing. Love this thing, dude. So with that, let's go ahead and let's talk about the interior. Now, the interior, I like the layout, but most importantly, the freaking tightness of this thing. Even the 2016 with like 30-something thousand miles did not feel this tight, dude. Again, it did not age the best because it wasn't treated the best. This thing, you can tell it was babied. It feels so much nicer in here. The leather quality is stunning, dude. There's no wear on. Honestly, this car feels like a brand new vehicle inside and out, dude. And this is not a joke. I mean, come look at it yourself if you doubt me, dude. This thing is amazing. I just noticed some kind of blackening here on the door handle, but that is literally it. And it's not even that harsh. It's like very light blackening on the door handle here, but that is it. That's like literally the only piece of wear I've been able to find with this beige interior, so that's pretty incredible. Now, is it perfect? Of course not. This infotainment, very fussy. I don't know how to really operate this thing. It's there's a lot going on here. There's definitely a learning curve with the infotainment screen, but it does have the Bose audio system, which sounds sensational. I love that. Now, this center stack here with all these buttons, I know it kind of looks a little bit intimidating, like there's a lot going on, and there is, but there's actually not. Once you kind of figure out where the layout is of all these buttons, it's very easy to use, actually. And I actually really like this a lot. At least they give you physical buttons here, whereas in the newer Porsches, they went to like this touchscreen crap, similar to like the Audis and stuff. So the climate control, totally separated from the screen. You have your own little fan speed control display as well as your temperature displays. Love it. Very easy. Traditional gear selecting lever here, which I absolutely love. The steering wheel is the absolute perfect size, very nice. It has like these very obtuse paddle shifter things, which you press in and you press up, whatever. The point is, don't use it because the 8-speed in this is tremendous. So just put in automatic and just have your way with it. Gauge cluster, traditional Porsche with the tachometer in the middle here. Nice little helper screen. This is all pretty much the exact same as the 2016 Cayenne. So go ahead and watch that review for a more in-depth review about that. But otherwise, it's aged flawlessly. One touch up and down windows. It does not have double pane glass, but it's a relatively thick glass, I guess, but it's not double paned. But regardless, it's still very quiet, even at speed, so I like that. Memory seats, of course, all that good stuff. Now let's talk about those rear seats, because I have plenty of space to sit back there. It's a 2-row SUV, not a 3-row or anything like that, but because of that, you have plenty of space in the back, and you have HVAC in the back as well, and headroom is not an issue. Again, the seats have aged flawlessly. They look amazing. Love it. This is such a pristine example of this car, despite having all these miles on it, dude. So love it. That's great. And let me tell you, that trunk is incredible. Check out that trunk, dude. So much space over there. It is remarkable. And when you lift up the little cover thing, the little battery pack is sitting there, so there is that. But yes, you should have no issues using this as a daily driver. It's got plenty of space. The quality is high. It's like literally, honestly, higher than a Lexus. It's got that bank volt tightness that you'd expect out of a German vehicle, and something that costs damn near 6 figures. So this is a driving experience to put on your short list, something to test drive. Own it with a warranty. Have your fun with it. Enjoy it. I promise you it's going to be one of the best driving experiences you're going to have. I know I say that about a lot of vehicles, but a lot of vehicles have their own unique thing that they have to bring to the table. Porsche, it's kind of the jack of all trades. I'm not going to lie to you. This is great, phenomenal vehicle. If you're interested in it, please hit up European Performance. All their information is going to be down in the description box below. Talk to them about warranties, financing, all that good stuff. So with that, thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.